Hi guys, let's play a bit with our friend Batzarro. So to get started, let's do the vault. There we go. That'll teach me not to charge my controller. In case you didn't know, the dual pistols, best weapon to do the vault with. But in game, not the most powerful weapon, sadly.
That's it. Game's over. Step along.
And I had a bit of a problem to log in, so I'm not sure if I'm the only one or if other players also had problems logging in. I have a breakout move now. I have to admit that munition is a pretty fun power. So last time, essentially, we stopped just before entering this mission. I'm not sure if we stopped just because it was time to stop or if the game crashed at the time. Doesn't matter. Let's go in now. I seem to recall starting to play this mission, but obviously we never finished it. So we did get that cloak the last time. Oh, he fell down. Let's see. There we go. Somehow I did not target him. Just making sure we're not forgetting anything here. So just as a refresher, essentially the loadout I'm using with our friend Batzarro right now is Killer Instinct, which is what starts the advanced mechanics, Chain Gun, MRE, which is my supercharge, the 50 cal, the launching roll is my breakout move, and the rocket launcher. Well, that should do it for now. I could make him a bit more purple. It's been a while since I read the comics with him. Not sure, I could, I'll see if I can tweak the look in a bit. And it would be a nice change. It will differentiate him a bit more than from our friend the Batman. Wrong button. Oh, they're gone. So as you can see, I don't need to do the bookshelf mission. I've done that last time. Well, I guess I stopped just short of helping our friend Eclipso. And I'm still under the effect, if I'm not mistaken, of the Wonder Woman emblem, so I should be gaining experience points a little faster. I will see.
Dress every day? Hey, I'm not programmed.
Who calls the demon from hellish fires? I'll burn you all on flaming pyres. Enter the darkness to end this foolish war.
I have to admit, I don't remember what happens if we don't use the pedestals. Did they add it? Essentially, from what I understand, the lantern emblems will be in the what's it called? The time capsules? Did they add the time capsules? Because I know that the lantern emblems will be in the time capsules. That's been announced some time ago. But last I checked, we didn't know when the time capsules would actually be added to the game. So are you telling me the time capsules are in the game right now? That would be good news. So let's see what our reward will be. Do we go for the ring or 16, 11, 11? I guess we'll take a ring. But yeah, I knew about the lantern emblems. The only thing is we didn't know when they would be added into the game. But we know they're coming. Sadly, it will be in the time capsules, and there will be some random number generator thingy. So you're gonna have to be lucky if you want to get the emblem you want. Although we're going to be able to sell them on the broker. So if you don't get the emblem you want from the time capsules, you should be able to get them from the broker. But again, we have no idea how rare they will be. So if they're like 50 millions on the broker, good luck buying them. Well, I don't know if the time capsules. Well, let me check. Let's see if there's an announcement about that. Last we last time we didn't know. As I said, they did mention that they would add the time capsules, but we don't know when they will add them. It's probably going to be parts of the Summer of Wonder, but that could be in anything. It could be end of August, or maybe even early September, or maybe later than that if they do some creative thinking and stretch the Summer of Wonder through the fall for reasons. Story so far, 26. Suicide Squad. I don't see the announcement. So I don't think the time capsules are... well, the time capsules, in theory, they should be better than the Prometheum logboxes. The thing is that with the Prometheum logboxes, if you're a legendary player, you don't need to purchase keys. Oh, I hear something. But with the time capsules, whether you're a premium player or a legendary player, you will still need to purchase keys. You're supposed to be able, supposedly we're going to be able to get keys in the game, but again, we don't know how rare those keys will be, so odds are we will have to purchase keys from the marketplace, and even legendary players will have to purchase keys. So that's the part I'm not too crazy about. If it was like the Prometheum logboxes where the legendary players don't have to buy the keys, then I'd be all for it. But seeing how we're gonna have to buy keys like everyone else is, I'm not too happy about that. Now, if you're legendary, you're still going to have to buy keys. You won't, unless they add something where the legendary players get, I don't know, 3 keys a month or something. You're gonna have to buy keys, even if you're legendary. That's pretty much a given. And essentially, they're doing that so that because they want everyone to purchase keys. Uh, Premium players will have to purchase keys, but legendary players will have to purchase keys too. So everyone will have to purchase keys. So let's imprint our new ring. Oh yeah, and let's change our look before we forget. So let's see. It's been a while since I read my comics with Batzarro, so I'm not sure how purple is supposed to be. Yeah, I do PvP. I did quite a lot of PvP on Friday. It was a cheese fest with essentially it was armies of Circes versus armies of Circes or Two Faces depending. So you had pretty much full teams of Two Faces and Circes versus teams of Two Faces and Circes. Once in a while you would have other characters, but if you weren't using a Circe or Two Face or a character that was using summons, you were at a pretty big disadvantage. But I was able to play PvP enough to be able to get. I essentially had stopped playing PvP a bit ago with my Magneto. So the latest gear I had was essentially the gear I had was the Vengeance gear. So I was able to purchase the Elemental Android gear. I'm looking at Batzarro and the maybe the call could be a tiny purple, I suppose. So let's see. Not too much. The rest of his suit seems pretty gray though. Maybe I could add some purple into the gray as well, but on a lighter shade. Let's go for that. Not too bad. Let's see what we got through the mail. Oh, Circe sent us. Speaking of the devil of the Circe, at least it's a style we didn't have. Holy crap, we got a lot of that crappy cape. Oh, at CR61. Let me check. I won't be able to see. Yeah, I would have suggested a few missions. Let me think a minute. At CR61, you should play the mission. What's it called? It's a Tier 3 duo PlayStation, or is it the Safe House? Crap. The name escapes me. Give me a second. And that'll be a bit easier. Let's see. Someone who's high level enough. Let's go with the classic Magneto. Oh, that is a weird. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, I upgraded all my gear to the Elemental Android. And then I started buying the Gotham Knight gear. But holy crap, that gear is expensive. It's like 5,000 per piece. Oh, and I got mail.
Hello, combatant. The authorized number of trading
I guess I
cards
could
can be
purchase neck piece. Oh, I'll wait a bit. The gloves I have. That was strange, to say the least. So, okay, so anyway, so you can see I could probably purchase a few things like the mask. Actually, the mask is the only thing I can purchase. Yep. So you can see the prices of the Gotham Knight gear. Holy crap! So to get back to your question, sorry I got sidetracked a bit. Uh, Essentially, at combat rating 61, you're going to want to play the mission. Let's switch that around. You're going to want to play the Shady Nightclub. Why the Shady Nightclub? Because you have like five bosses in that mission. So you have five chances to get some gear that will increase your combat rating. So that's a really good mission to play to try to get some gear. Oh, I can show you. Let me show you my fire character. Oh, let me collect my mail first before I forget. Give me just a second, and I'll show you a bit with our friend Superman. Essentially, I'm going to suggest to you a loadout that's fairly effective. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, let me switch character, and I'll show you how I play my fire character. So let's load our friend Superman. It started as the Red Sun Superman, but it pretty much became the classic Superman after a while. Although now it's a mismatch of various super persons, I should say. Okay, I'm going to go to the Gotham Wasteland to be able to fight a few enemies. It'll make more sense also to show you. So let me switch to my DPS. For those who don't know, essentially this is pretty much inspired by the classic Superboy look from the late 90s, the late 80s, early 90s. Sorry
I
about
gotta
that.
say, I envy you for getting to kick all
Well,
those
actually, I
companies'
think it's
butts.
just the early 90s.
Jared, Trigon's little bastard in charge of Rad, has his phone.
Jacob, one of Trigon's sons, is collecting lust energy.
So let's
to
see,
use
where
in
should
a
I go?
terrible
Oh, I know where I'll go. So I'm going to go to the Knight's Dome mission. Hopefully I won't make a fool of myself and I won't get knocked out too often. But it should be a good mission to show you how to play this loadout. And also there's a truckload of ads, so it should be educational, I suppose. There's only one bit where you before you fight the first boss, there's a few waves of enemies. That can be a little tricky, but no, we'll try not to die too much. It should be done as a duo, but I can pretty much solo the missions by now.
This is repulsive. Envy demons are using an orb of irresistible magic to compel
So
people
let
to
me go
envy
into
one another.
the Knight's Dome, and I'll explain to you the
Strong
loadout in
words.
just a bit.
Speaking of demons.
Okay. Essentially, the loadout I have right now is built around the character being self-sufficient. So with that loadout, I should be able to regenerate my power almost as quickly as I'm using it. So I should be able to spam powers as much as I want, non-stop. Uh, Sadly, if I get interrupted too much, I may burn my power bar a little bit. So I may run out of power if I get interrupted too much. So hopefully I won't get interrupted too much. I guess we'll see. And the actual loadout, let's go through that. So the loadout is built around the advanced mechanic in order for the character to get power back. Also, there's a bit of healing in there so that my character doesn't die too much, so that he can heal back a bit. And there's also a bunch of power interactions, fire power interactions, or burning power interactions between the various powers. So they pretty much all work together fairly well. So essentially, I have the power Flame Cascade, I have Mass Detonation, I have Fire Burst, Inferno, Burning Determination, and Fiery Weapon. Although I'm toying with the idea of getting rid of replacing Fiery Weapon, I haven't made up my mind yet. So essentially, you start the rotation with Burning Determination, then Fiery Weapon, then you go Flame Cascade, Mass Detonation, Fire Burst, and Inferno. Although it could be also Burning Determination, Fiery Weapon, Inferno, and then Flame Cascade, Mass Detonation, and Fire Burst. It doesn't have to be the exact same order every time. It depends on the situation and what is going on. Uh, and then while these three powers are on cooldown, hello DC 100. While these three powers are in cooldown, then you will cycle with essentially when the three powers to the right are on cooldown, you will cycle through the three powers to the left until the cooldown is expired to the right, and then you can go through the rotation again. It's a bit complicated, but it'll make more sense once I start doing it. So let's get started. So essentially, you start your rotation and you go through all of them. This one has a long casting time, so sometimes I will skip it. And as you can see, you can get interrupted fairly easily. And you can see my power pretty much regenerating as quickly as I'm using it. So normally with this rotation, I should be able to spam powers as much as I want to. Also, the power I use to start my rotation, that's also my breakout move. So if I get interrupted, as you just saw that happened, then I can use my power again to break out, to get back up. It's doing okay. It's not the most. You see, you're talking about crazy damage. It's not even the loadout that does the most damage. There's a few loadouts out there if you look a bit through YouTube videos. There's a few loadouts that do a bit more damage quickly. I'm not sure how to properly say it. Essentially, they'll do like a whole bunch of damage in like 2 seconds, and then they'll be out of power and won't do much damage until their power comes back. So they'll do a lot of damage, then they'll have to wait a bit before they do a lot of damage, then they'll wait again a bit. As opposed to what I like about this loadout, it took me quite a lot of trial and error to find this loadout, to tweak this loadout, is that I can essentially use my powers indefinitely. But here, this is usually the hardest part in this mission, is that the waves there's like 4 waves of ads that attacks you. They're pretty tough, and once in a while they can knock out my poor little Superman. So hopefully it won't happen today. We'll see. Ironically enough, the whole bunch of like you see 20 of them right there. These are not so as hard as the few waves that I'll be facing right now. So as you can see, I'm getting knocked down at least a bit, and I messed up my rotation. It wasn't too bad, I guess, but if I mess up my rotation too much, I will run out of power. Oh, you got the Captain Cold Hood? Ah, that's good. Um, uh, like everyone else, I'm waiting for water powers. So right now we have no idea really what to expect. Although maybe some people saw water powers in beta or whatever. But personally, I have no idea what water powers will be like. I'm gonna have to focus a bit more. But essentially, I've been trying to come up with a Namor the Submariner for when the water power gets released. So as you see, once in a while, if you mess up too much, you will burn through your power bar. So once in a while, you may have to use your weapon mastery a bit to let your power regenerate a bit. We're gonna have to wait and see for that. There's no real way to know how powerful water will be yet. It's a coin toss. Sometimes new powers are uber mega powerful, as if they're worried that people will not like them, so they make them way too powerful. But once in a while, they'll make them so weak that they're almost useless. So it's hard to tell. Like essentially, powers like Rage or Quantum or what else? A few of the powers were pretty powerful when they were first released. In some cases, they were nerfed pretty quickly. In other cases, it took quite a while before they were nerfed. But there's other powers like Earth or Lightning that were never really powerful to begin with. So again, for water, it'll be a coin toss. Although, pretty much since weapon masteries, whenever they add something to the game, it's usually way too powerful, and then they have to tone it down after a bit. Again, it's as if they're worried that we won't accept something new, so they make it so powerful that people will like it. At least a lot of people will like it. Oh, it comes from. I'll show you in a bit. Essentially, it's the mod that I'm using in my. I'm not sure if it's my weapon or my chest. I'm gonna have to look it up. From memory, I don't recall exactly. when getting down. Essentially, the shield comes from.
Since I'm from the future, I thought I'd tell you.
It is Brainiac. It's
Okay,
always
so in my
Brainiac.
weapon, usually I use the blast adapter 5, but this time I decided to go with the absorption adapter because my essentially my other role is tank. So I figured having a shield once in a while could be useful, and it's actually pretty good. Water is going to be a healer power. Uh, Sorry, I was a bit focused. Oh, personally, I would add the Black Lantern power, or actually, I would add the Black Lantern and White Lantern power, uh, and I would make it a healer power, and I would try to add some sort of mechanic to those powers that if a player gets knocked out, White power would be able to resurrect them, and the Black power would be able to raise them as a Black Lantern or something. But don't think that'll ever happen. But it would be fun. You're welcome. But yeah, water will be a healer power. Because we already got the tank power with atomic. Well, thank you. I have to admit, I haven't really played PvP with this character, so right now I would try the same loadout. But honestly, right now I really don't know. I would have to try it out and see. Off the top of my head, I would try this loadout, and if it works, fine. If it doesn't work, then I would probably do some trial and error and try to find a better option. The best power for tier 4 to tier 8. There's a few, I suppose. Some of those that seems to be pretty powerful right now are sorcery, earth, and I'm sure there's another one that escapes me right now. But a lot of them are pretty good. Although there's a few powers that you don't really see at endgame. Like for a long time, we didn't see any lanterns at endgame. So well, I should say any green lanterns or yellow lanterns. So seeing a light power in endgame was a pretty rare sight for quite a long time. And there's a few reasons for that. There's also the Celestial Power, which for the healer it's actually quite good, but as a DPS, essentially any powers that has combos, you don't see a lot of them in endgame. The main problem is that you get interrupted quite a lot, so you have a hard time trying to complete your combos because you constantly get interrupted. So it makes them not quite as useful as it should be. So if you try to play, let's say, a Celestial DPS or a Light Power DPS, you're gonna have a hard time because you're gonna get interrupted a lot. So if you're not sure, I wouldn't go with those powers. I would probably go with something like Quantum or Mental. As a healer, I would probably go with Sorcery right now, or I'll actually Celestial could work also as a healer, but not using the combos. I would use it as a standard healer. I'm not sure how to properly explain it. Like essentially with Celestial, if you go through the combos, your combos will be able to heal even if you don't use healing powers. Some of the combos will heal your group still, if it makes any sense. But if you play a Celestial as pretty much a standard healer, where essentially you cast your heal over time, and then when one player needs a heal, you cast your one player heal. When if your player needs a heal, you cast your three player heal. So if you just go through if you just cycle through your heals without really doing combos, you should be able to do fine with Celestial. Also, I personally kind of like the electric healer, but I'm pretty much alone in that. Most players don't like electric healers. So again, electric healer is something you don't see a lot in endgame, and when you see them, sometimes they'll get the boot, sadly. Although I have to admit, I've been fortunate. My main character on PC is an electric healer, my main hero on PC. And I was never given the boot because I was electric. I was never given the boot, so I would consider myself fortunate. Well, if it was up to me, we would have all the lantern powers: orange, violet, black, white, all the shebang. But sadly, whenever I try to talk to Spittle, he ignores me. Can you believe that? I'm just kidding. I never spoke to Spittle. It would be fun to be able to summon. Imagine if when your friends or even other players, when they fall on the battlefield, if you have a power that just for a bit allows you to summon a copy of them, a copy of the fallen players, that would be fun. Although seeing how pets are way too powerful in PvP right now. I don't really have an ice tank loadout. Essentially, I played an ice tank, I don't know, 4.5 years ago. Originally, my main on PC was an ice tank. I played ice tank until about tier 4, I think. And around tier 4, we needed me and my friends. We needed a healer. Essentially, there was me as an ice tank. We had a friend that was a fire tank, and we didn't have any healer. So I figured, okay, we already had a tank, so I sacrificed myself and I switched my character to electric healer so that we would have a healer. So I haven't really played the ice tank since tier 4, like 4 years ago. So I wouldn't really have a loadout right now. I would have to play a lot more with my... essentially, I came up with a cyborg Batzarro. So I would have to... a cyborg Superman Batzarro, I should say. So, but ideally, I would have to experiment a lot more, to play a lot more with my cyborg Batzarro and experiment with the various powers to come up with a proper loadout. But right now, I don't really have. I could try and come up with a suggestion on the fly, but I don't really have a good answer right now. Sorry about that. Well, there would be ways to nerf the white power or balance it so that it wouldn't be too OP. And we have to remember that this is a game, so they can take certain liberties to make sure that the power is not too OP. Let's summon our old friend. Let's take a cola. Why not? Yeah, ice does a lot of damage. It was given quite a buff at some point, and it's a pretty powerful power. At least it was until not too long ago. I don't know if I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of buff of nerf at some point. Sadly, that happens quite a lot. When too many people complain about a power, usually the nerf hammer follows not too long after. Although sometimes it's justifiable. Sometimes it does happen sometimes that certain powers or certain abilities are way too powerful, and I always wonder, like, when that happens, I always wonder, like, who thought this was a good idea? Did no one test it? But from what I understand, I never played on test. But from what I understand, or from what people are saying online, there seems to be some flaws in the way they evaluate the powers. There seems to be some flaws in the way they evaluate the damage that you can do with powers. So if that's the case, that would explain why we see so many powers or abilities that are way too powerful sometimes. So as you can see, once in a while you may have to go to use your weapon masteries just to take a breather and let your power regenerate a bit. But but most of the time you can just spam powers pretty much almost as much. Oh, maybe not. I guess we just hit a pretty huge lag spike. So let's get out of here. So I hope this made sense for the firepower. So as you can see, the loadout works pretty well. And the thing I like best about it, and that's what I had, I did quite a lot of experimentation to come up essentially with a loadout that I thought would allow my character to be pretty much self-sufficient. Because you never know when you're going to be running a mission with a controller who does not give power at all, or with a healer who doesn't really heal or that barely heals your character. So this way, I don't rely too much on other players. I can pretty much do my business without too much trouble. And you asked about the ice power. Let's load our friend Cyborg Bizarro and let's see if we can come up with something. Uh, went too fast. Oh, there it is. Cellular Batzarro or Cyborg Bizarro, Cyborg Superman Bizarro is only level 16, so we won't have all the powers. Let's see, what am I using? Oh, that pretty much stinks. So Frost Knife would be my single target pull, so let's put it there. As you can see, I didn't really experiment with the... Oh, that's my supercharge. Let's put it there. Let's try with Winter Ward here. Let's put this one here, and let's put this one here. Yeah, I have legendary membership. I'm legendary on PS4 and on PC. Just let me check something first. Yeah. Ideally, with an ice tank, what I used to do is that I would try to get. I was using shields a lot. I guess reflection would be useful. Ah, the ice elemental, that was a nice one. So let's try this. And let us switch to tank because we can. Okay, so this was my shield. That's my pull. That's to give some resistance. Okay. So ideally, what you want with your ice tank, you want to be able to have some survivability. So you want to have some pretty strong shield. So you want to use your shield or shield-like abilities, and also, well, what does it gain again? Well, obviously, like every tank, your dominance gets increased by 100%. So essentially, whenever you use a power, you'll increase your defense and toughness. And usually, I'll try to use also abilities like some powers that will shield you, or there's one case where essentially the powers redirect damage to your enemies. So that's pretty much what I would try to use. But let's see. Let's go play maybe a mission or two with our friend.
Ready to rumble? Bane's held up in the Cape Carmine lighthouse with the last of his venom. Use the entrance up top behind the light.
Not long. I bought them from the broker. I don't think I ever got the flash boots from the flash mission. So essentially, I gathered I don't know 2 or 3 million at the time, and I bought them straight off the broker. That was the less painful solution. Oh yeah, I probably should have checked. Next time. So I'll remain in tank role. Usually I would do these missions as a DPS, but let's try our tank powers just because. But yeah, most of the items that you should be able to get from missions usually end up purchasing them on the broker. There's a few exceptions, like once in a while I'll play mission and oh, I'll get let's say the Batwoman cape or something. But it's a once in a while occasion, and usually by the time I get them, I've already purchased them for the character that I want. So either I end up selling the one that I finally end up getting, or I give it to a character that won't really use it, but you never know. Maybe at some point in time I'll respec my I don't know, my Batman character into a Flash character, and I'll be happy if he has the Flash boots. Oh, I heard something. Oh, there it is. Ideally, I wish we could purchase the styles. Like essentially, they're supposed to add at some point the option to be able to purchase styles from our main character. And not unlike how we can purchase the skill points. Oh yeah, thinking of purchasing skill points. Oh yeah. Essentially, I finished at last. I farmed. I was farming for a bit the Central City bounties. And I finally completed the 500 Central City bounties, so I'll probably never play those bounties ever again. No, actually, I'm lying. I'll probably play them on PC. I don't have the 500 bounties on PC yet, but at least on PS4, I don't have to worry about those ever again. I'll probably purchase them until the end of time. And the same with there's a few missions like that, like the Toyman missions. I swore to myself never to play those missions again. Holy crap, I hated those. I have no idea. I never purchased the starter pack. The last time I purchased a DLC, it was a fight for the light. What's it called again? Essentially, I purchased one DLC ever. It's when I first started playing, and yeah, it's the Fight for the Light DLC. So when I started playing, there was one DLC at the time. It was the Green Lantern DLC Flash for the Light. Fight for the Light. I'll get it right at some point. And so essentially, I played for about a week. Then I purchased. I think after like 3 days, I purchased the Batman, future Batman Legend character. Then after about another week, I purchased the Fight for the Light DLC. And then after I've been playing, after I was playing for about a month, then I went legendary, and I never I've been legendary ever since. So it's been a long time since I needed to purchase any DLC or any things like that. So I have no idea what's actually included in those packs. Holy crap. Personally, I hate the look of ice armor. Holy crap, I miss how it used to look. Way back when I was playing an ice tank, the ice armor was a little cooler than that. Uh, it's okay. Yeah, I have to admit it took me some getting used to. There was a time where I didn't like brawling very much. For a long time, I was pretty much stuck on using end blasters. It was pretty much my weapon of choice because with end blasters you could attack from a distance, and you could also brawl. Like there were a few brawling moves within the hand blasters combos, so you could brawl a bit even with hand blasters. And I guess that's how I got used to brawling. So and now at some point I tried brawling again, not that long ago actually, and strangely enough I guess I got the hang of it because then I started using it a lot more. And also for a tank, you want essentially to use a melee weapon. It will give some extra resistance to your character. But brawling works well enough. But I know that a popular choice at some point was at some point a lot of people were using a one-handed weapon or even dual wield. I remember seeing a lot of tank at some point were essentially spinning with their dual sword or dual weapons. I'm pretty sure I forgot some canister somewhere. Well, I haven't been seeing a dual wield tank in quite a while, so I guess it may not be as effective as it used to be. Yeah, I know about them. There was what's the last one they just made? They just made one with what was it, Nightwing versus the Winter Soldier. It was kind of cool. Not as good as the Darth Vader versus Batman, but I guess nothing will ever be as cool as Darth Vader versus Batman. Although I remember I really enjoyed also there was one of the early ones uh, was Gandalf versus Darth Vader. Holy crap, that was a cool one. Well, I guess I did get all the canisters. But they had quite a few nice ones. Oh, that's the pull move. I haven't played our friend here in a while, so what's this one?
Let's do some old-fashioned face stomping. Drain Bane's venom when he's down, so he don't juice him up again. I hear the stuff's gone tricky.
So essentially, to answer your ice tank question, I would go for things like essentially you want to have at least maybe one pull move, a few powers that will give you some resistance, a few shields if you can, and you'll be good to go, I suppose.
I come again!
Maybe a supercharge, maybe not. I would have to check. Oh yeah, watch. I do watch Back to the Sun. Even their worst video is still pretty fun. I guess I like it better when they use characters that I like or that I care about. Like if you say essentially if they use Batman and Darth Vader, holy crap, that's all kinds of awesome. But when they use someone like the Power Ranger versus Master Chief or something like that, those are characters that I'm not all that familiar with, and I don't really care about them. So when they use characters like that I don't really know or really care about, Then more or less. Ideally, I would need to have access to all the powers to be able to try to come up with a proper an actual proper loadout. But more or less that would be more or less the way I would play it. Essentially, you want to have. Let's go look at the powers.
So much for Bane's entry in my
What's the
care war.
supercharge?
I had to think of who to put in harm's way
I seem to
next.
recall the encasing a block of ice wasn't too bad, but I probably wouldn't use that.
Penguin. So many possibilities. Now run along and speak with Catwoman at the same
So ideally, you want something that will give some controlled resistance. You want to at least one pull move. Oh yeah, the Batman versus Darth Vader was awesome. Although the alternate ending was a bit of a cheat, where essentially you have the alternate ending where Batman wins. It's actually Superman who wins, but so essentially you would want a few like Shattered Restraint that would give some immunities to yourself and your whole group. Um, I guess this is the supercharge I would use. Although this one, nah, let's go because I think when you encase yourself in the block of ice, it does heal you, but it's also an aggro dump if I'm not mistaken. So as a tank, you don't really want to use an aggro dump. You want to keep the aggro on yourself. So I would for the supercharge, I would go with the ice elemental. And again, what else? That's the single target taunt. Winter Ward also gives immunities to your group. I guess we'll try to raise the level of our ice tank at least a bit today. I don't think I'll be level 30 today, but you never know. Yeah, it does do some healing, but I think it's an aggro dump. Essentially, it makes you lose the aggro, and as a tank, you don't really want that. So the healing part is nice, but the losing the aggro, not so nice. So I wouldn't go for that supercharge. I would go for the one that turns you into an elemental, mostly for that. Although I would have to check to be sure if it's an aggro dump, but the way the power works, I'm almost 99.9% certain that it is. Oh yeah, level 18. Holy crap, we're going up quick. That Wonder Woman emblem does the trick, I suppose. So let's see what weapon. Okay, I thought we could maybe choose our weapon, but I suppose not. So let's see. Do we have? Oh yeah, we do have a new PowerPoint. We'll add our PowerPoints later. Actually, I can add it now. I will just have not to switch armories or switch role, I guess. Okay, this one in case our enemies. This one conjures an ice storm. So hibernation does heal you. Essentially, it used to be a block of ice. Now it's like a small mountain of ice. So essentially, it encases your character into a little mountain of ice. So you're protected while you're within that block of ice, and also you're healing yourself. But as I said, the problem is that essentially, I think I'm pretty sure it works as an aggro dump. So essentially, you lose the aggro from all the enemies around you, and then the enemies will turn around and jump on your friends while you're safe and sound within your block of ice healing. So I wouldn't really suggest that for the tank. For the DPS, sure, go ahead and use that. But in tank role, I would not use that. Again, for the tank role, I would use either the ice elemental, or I wouldn't use a supercharge at all. That's always an option. Because also you have, I would have to check the. It's been a long time since I've played with the ice elemental, so I have no idea what the weapon combos actually are. Because a lot of the abilities that transform you into anything, essentially you end up with weapon combos. Uh, how could I say that properly? Essentially, if you're using, let's say, weapon mastery combos, and then you turn yourself into an ice elemental, and you end up with the combos of the ice elemental, well, odds are the combos of the elemental will not hit quite as strongly or as hard as your weapon mastery combos, unless they gave it a buff or something at some point, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. So let's see if we can add one power while we fly towards our mission. Freeze wave. I guess I could go. Or I could go for that in order to be able to take that after. Let's go for that. Not really going to use it, but it's a means to an end. So usually there is a side quest. Where is he?
The coin says I work with the Joker, for now. Just like you. The cops have arrested some of Joker's clowns. Heads or tails. Think you can get them free? You're one coin toss away from life or death.
I'm pretty sure I did one. No, actually, I did a few. If you look, there's a few videos. There's at least one called RND that would probably do that. Or there's one for the white mods, which is quite simply called the white mod. And there's one with color mods, which again is simply called the color mods. So if you look up for those, you should be able to have the info you need about modding your gear. Although if you need more specific information, I guess you could always ask questions in the comment section. I'll see what I can do about possibly answering your questions. Oh yeah, we're a villain. But if you look, give me just 1 second. If you look for, I'm pretty sure it's white mod and color mod. Do you need information about the color mods or about the white mods? Because yeah, I did. I have a few videos. I have one about the white mods. I have one about the color mods. Simply, and if you search for color mods or white mods, you'll find it. And there's one about the mainframe and the tactical mods, which is the white mods also. I guess I'm going to switch. But again, if you need more specific info, sure, I could make a video about. That'll work a bit better. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, there is red mods. Essentially, the red mods. There's two types of red mods. There's precision mods, or there's might mods. Depending on the depending on your character, you're going to want to go for one or the other. Of course, there's also the purple mods, which count as red and yellow, and there's the orange mods, which the purple mods count as red and blue, and the orange mods count as red and yellow. But if you were talking about an ice tank, uh, essentially with an ice tank, I assume you'll DPS as ice also. You're going to want for the red mods, you're going to want to go for might, or being a tank, you may want to go for might and dominance. So might and dominance, that would be a purple mod. So you would create a purple mod of might and dominance. So it would count as both a red and a blue mod. Well, it depends on what you need. It's not really a matter of being the best. It's just that if you're going, let's say, to use your weapons to do damage, then you're going to want to go for precision mods. If you're going to use, or if you're going to use a power like the Green Lantern powers, for Green Lantern powers, you want to put precision mods because your power combos, uh, you have to craft them. You can purchase them in the Watchtower or the Hall of Doom. I can show you where in when next time I go back there. Or you have to craft them. Essentially, you need to gather. I don't have any with this character. Let me go farm a bit. Sadly, I have farmed for those exhibits way too much that I pretty much know by heart where they are. All of them, at least in this area. So let's see, there's sometimes one here, sometimes here. Oh, here's one. Oh, let me check for one last one. And there it is. Essentially, you have to gather those exhibits. Oh yeah, I got the 3 red ones. And these are the exhibits you're looking for. If you want to craft some red mods, you have to gather some red exhibits. So these are aggressive exhibits. You're going to need 8 of them in order to be able to craft a red mod. Actually, to craft a red exobyte. And then with your red exobyte, you're going to be able to craft alpha mods or beta mods. Oh, I have a base nearby, come to think of it. and essentially you're going to want to go to a crafting station. Uh, if you don't have one in your base, which is okay, I don't expect everyone to have one. There are some in the Watchtower and in the Hall of Doom, so you should be able to get them there. And here, this is the base of our friend Magneto, and he has a crafting station all the way down here. So as you can see, I can craft some aggressive exhibits, or aggressive exobyte, I should say. For that, I need 8 aggressive exobits. It's a bit confusing. There's exobits and exobytes. To show you that, I would have to switch characters. So let's do that. Yeah, I think my Magneto is still there, so we will load our friend Magneto. Essentially, in each wings of the watchtower, there is a crafting station. So I'll show it to you quickly, and I'll go back to our friend Cyborg, and we're right there. So here we're in the magic wing. So you can see where we are on the map. We're right here. And we have a crafting station. So there's 3 things here. There's this little fella who sells and repair. You can buy colas from him, as you can see. There's our other friend here who sells plans. Like essentially, these are the only plans I didn't purchase from him. But he has a truckload of other plans. So a lot of the plans that you will need to craft early on, this little fella will be able to sell them to you. And this little fella here is selling you the components to craft. So he's selling you the interfaces that you need, like in order to be able to craft an alpha mod. Okay. So as I mentioned, to craft 1 aggressive exobyte, you need 8 aggressive exobits. And then when you want to craft a red mod, too many plans. Okay, there we go. And then when we want to craft a red mod, again, depending on what you need, if you need a precision mod or an alpha mod, or a white or a might mod, well, then you have to decide. If you make damage, if you plan to do damage with your weapon, go for precision mods. If you plan to do damage with your power, go with a might mod. It's a little oversimplified, but you get the idea. And again, in order to be able to craft that, you need 1 aggressive exobyte, and you need an equipment interface alpha. So I would go see our friend here. I would purchase an equipment interface alpha. Then I would come back here, and I would craft the alpha mod. And once the alpha mod is crafted, I'm not sure if I don't have one. So once you've crafted the alpha mod, then you just grab it and drag it to the piece of gear where you need it, and you put it in there. As you can see, I don't have any because this is some brand new PvP gear that I just purchased, and I'm already planning to replace it. Essentially, I'm going to purchase to replace the Elemental Android with the Gotham Knight gear. So I won't bother putting mods in those pieces of gear. I'm not going to keep them for very long still. So I hope this answered your question. So essentially, you have to come in this area and do some crafting. And there's such a table in each wing, and they're pretty much each wing is pretty much built more or less the same way. There's a few variations from wing to wing, but overall it's pretty much the same thing. I'm going to show you the meta wing just to show you that. Again, you can see it's the same setup. You have the crafting table here. You have the little guy selling the sorters. You have the little lady here selling the plants,
What can I help you with?
and you have the little fella here selling the components you need to craft. So essentially, whenever you try to craft something, you'll see it will show you all the components you need. Let's try and scroll very quickly. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Okay, there we go. So again, it will show you need, let's say, a support exobyte and an equipment interface beta. So you can purchase the equipment interface beta from your doctor friend. And the more you go up in level, like these are type 5 exobits or exobytes, whatever, or type 5 mods. Again, you can see we need a lot of vengeful exobytes. We need some complex material. We need some simple material. For the complex material and simple material, you're going to have to either farm for it or you're going to need to buy them from the broker. The same for the focusing elements. So either you'll get them from missions, or you'll get them from not really missions. You'll get them from salvaging some gear. Essentially, when there's some gear that you don't need, you can salvage the gear, and it will give you maybe components if you're lucky. And let's see. I'll show you the essentially the last plans. Normally, we're supposed to be able to archive some of our stuff, but it doesn't seem to work too well because they're pretty much all back. Oh, and I messed up. My menu froze. Ah, crap. When the menu freezes, you have a little choice sometimes, but to just get out of there. So let's try to just scroll down. So at some point, as you can see, you get a lot and a lot and a lot of plans. And it's a bit of a mess when you need to do some crafting. And they added an archive section where you technically should be able to put the recipes you're not using, but whatever. So essentially, you can see for the Type 8 mods, you need 24 exobyte. So that's a lot of exobits to farm. Again, you need complex material, simple material, interface Type 8, which you can purchase from our friend right next to us, and again, the focusing elements. The cosmic material, it's something that you can customize your gear with. Essentially, you're supposed to be able to. I don't have one, so I won't be able to show you exactly. But normally, you're supposed to be able to. I want to the wrong tab. It'll appear at some point. Holy crap! Okay, there we go. So normally, you're supposed to be able to come here, and you're supposed to be able to select a material to color your gear. So let's say I would select a cosmic material. Then my headpiece, my entire helmet, would be the cosmic material. And let's see if there's. But last I checked, you had to buy it from the broker for like 35 millions or something. So not really an option. 30. So overall, it's more or less around 35 millions. So you can see 32, 37. It's in that zone. I don't think we can have a preview. Nah. It stinks a bit that they went they gave us these materials are fairly cool. It would have been nice to have those for my Galactus character. Sadly, they gave those materials. They gave us those materials in the booster bundles, and sadly, I purchased a bunch of at least a few of those, and I didn't get squat. I got the glimmering auras, and that's pretty much all I got. So let's go back to our friend Cyborg Bizarro. Sorry, I was a bit distracted. So let's get out of here. So essentially, the cosmic material is a texture that you can put on one piece of gear, and that whole piece of gear becomes the cosmic material. I assume they will add more materials in the future. Nah, there's no Blue Lantern powers. There are people who wish there was, but there's not. Essentially, if you see a Blue Lantern, like essentially, I created a Blue Lantern Superman. The way I did that is pretty simple. I created my Blue Lantern Superman using the quantum powers. So the quantum powers are a pretty good option to try to fake out having Blue Lantern powers. Obviously, you cannot create a Blue Lantern combos, Blue Lantern construct, but still, it's as close as we can get right now. Same as essentially, I have my Black Lantern Batman, and I'm using celestial powers to fake out the Green Lantern, the Black Lantern powers. It almost looks like a Moon Knight. Oh, a new pair of boots.
Joker's toxic.
Nah, only the style is good.
He and Harley
I'm so
are
sad.
creating a deadly new version here at Amusement Mile. So if you want to stay healthy, you'll leave now.
But the next power is
This new toxin is really something.
the next power is going to be water, and it, from what we understand, it probably will be only in like 2017. So if they ever decide to add Blue Lantern power, at the earliest it will be in 2017, but it'll probably be later than that, sadly.
I'll give you the funhouse password if you do.
I'm on it.
So if you're patient and are willing to wait 2, 3, 5 years, I'm sure that sooner or later they will add the Blue Lantern power. Unless they decide not to add any more power at some point, but that's another issue. I'm sure. I guess I could do a match or two. Well, it all depends what time it is. Although the new PvP map is challenging to say the least. I guess I'm in the wrong area. Here we are. Oh, sorry about that. It's been a long day. Oops. We're no match for our friend Full House yet. Probably. I guess I will know later today what my next week will look like.
On to bigger targets. That bird-brain Robin is inside my funhouse. Get in there and protect my formula. And Hardy too, of course. The password is Batman Stinks. Look at all these party crashers. Ugh. There's more cops here than in a donut convention. Get to Harley and take out the boy Blunder. The place is filled with all sorts of jokerized goodies. Help yourself.
Sadly, I guess I'm gonna have to go. I will try to log back in a bit later today, probably by the end of the day, uh, possibly around 4 or 5. So maybe I'll see you back then. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section down below. I'll see if I can do another Q&A with your questions at some point. I hope you guys did enjoy the Q&A I did. And also, I'm planning to do a vlog. I'll probably try to post that. Essentially, I'm halfway through, so I'm planning to post that a bit later today. I'll try to play Either 4 or 5. Take a quick peek at 4. If not, come back at 5. And I'm gonna try to post my vlog a bit later today. And also, I did a video about the controller role. I was planning to do one with each role, so I'll try to add one with the healer role, the tank role, and the DPS role, and give a bit of insight on each role. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for now, guys. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.